Nathan, thanks for joining us. Today's a big day for the club. The club have confirmed today that we've signed PSV Eindhoven legend Ernest Faber as technical director. First of all, what are your reactions to the signing, and what will Ernest bring to the club?
Yeah, really exciting day for us to appoint Ernest to the TD role. We've done a lot of homework on our football program over the last 12 months. We've obviously had success the last few seasons. This season we weren't where we needed to be, but more broadly it was an assessment of our program and what will hold us in good stead for the next 5 to 10 years. And that technical director role is something that was lacking, primarily around support for the coaching staff, but also support for our players through the pathway. So we're fortunate through our partnership with PSV. Door was made open for us to discuss with Ernest around the possibility of coming on board as a technical director. A football person of immense pedigree and quality, 40 odd years at PSV, obviously as a player, played with some of the biggest names in the world at the time, but more importantly in recent times head of their youth academy, so understands what it takes to be a footballer of the highest standard, but has also played a really key role in nurturing a lot of the PSV youth, and I think which is evidence in their success on the field this year. So for us it's in part about those pathways and supporting the coaches, but ultimately about generating on-field success. There's a lot made about on-field investment when it comes to players, but I think a missing part of the puzzle for us has been the on-field investment when it comes to coaching and giving Carl and Adrian greater support and greater resourcing and IP around what they do day to day to ultimately drive better results on the field.
Talk to us about what Ernest's priorities will be and how this will affect his working relationship with our current head of football, Marius Zanin.
Yeah, so Ernest comes on board formally from 1 July, but the discussions have already been had around the men's squad for this year. Obviously we've released a number of players on the basis that they will be replaced, and it frees up positions within the squad, but also gives us flexibility when we start to look at foreigners and everything else. So the short-term focus for Ernest will be meeting everyone. We'll have him in Adelaide relatively soon, meeting with coaching staff, meeting with players, meeting with office staff, but then also meeting with members as well. So it's understanding the landscape. He came to Adelaide in January, watched a game, went out of training, so he's familiar with how we're set up, but getting into the nuts and bolts of the football department and really understanding where the short-term wins are. But obviously in our discussions, the immediate priority within that has been player recruitment. So recruitment of players for the 24-25 season is the ultimate priority at this stage.
You briefly touched on it in your first answer, our recent announcement partnership with PSV Eindhoven. Is this part of the overall strategic alignment where the club is going? Talk to us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so the PSV partnership was born out of football, and not, this wasn't framed as part of that when the partnership was initially developed, but it's really share of IP across the entire club. So football is one element of that, and Ernest will bring a lot of PSV knowledge and experience into the business, but outside of that it will sit across the broader commercial landscape and understanding some of the best practice standards in Europe that we can bring to Adelaide. So it's very early stages of the partnership, but that's something that will evolve in due course alongside Ernest's appointment.
And Ernest will be based in Adelaide. Will he be working out of Playford with our football department? Yeah,
so Ernest will relocate in July to Adelaide full time. So that's important for us, obviously, and I think for Ernest as well, to really immerse yourself in that technical director role. You need to be at training every day, speaking with coaches, speaking with players. So Ernest had 40 odd years at PSV, was looking for a change and a new challenge and opportunity, and part of the relationship between our two clubs, this was a really good fit for him.
Obviously, don't have to go into too much detail, but we're entering in quite a substantial off-season for the club. This feels like it's the first step towards a broader plan. Is that right?
Yeah, it is. So we've made no secret that this year we didn't achieve what we wanted to, albeit that we were close to finals. But finals are really the benchmark of acceptability for us in terms of performance. So this has been playing out behind the scenes for a little bit of time now. Obviously, we're a month away or out from our last game of the season, so planning has well and truly been underway for next season. That said, the boys have still got another 5 weeks before they're back from leave. So the next month will really be into the detail around football. And as I said, obviously the ultimate priority there in the short term is recruitment, which is well and truly underway, and there'll be further announcements in the coming weeks.